One of my very first jobs was in stagecraft, in theater. Anything that happens live in real time in front of hundreds of people, has to be right. I think that early career in theater really helped me kind of understand the kind of things that I want to do. What did I enjoy doing? I looked around a lot for a school that was more dedicated to craft. That's what excited me about Full Sail. It's a place where if you have the desire to craft something, to be excited about making things, that they will give you the tools to explore that. I didn't know anybody in Florida, I didn't really have anything to do in Florida, so I did a lot of stuff at school. Mike Cioni and Ian Verdevec, who are two very good friends, they got a little interview, a little article in Post magazine that I'd read while I was at Full Sail in my apartment. I decided, well, you know what, I'm gonna give this Mike Cioni a call. We talked for like 2 hours. But at the end of that, we kind of came away with this idea of, you know what, if we were to take all of this commodity off-the-shelf hardware, we could probably do this for people, and we could probably charge them some money. There was this entire community of independent filmmakers that sort of had nowhere to rest. A big post house was going to charge them way too much money, and they didn't have the resources or the skills to finish something for, Sundance or whatever on their own. We put together a place called Plaster City, a digital post. As it turns out, it was wildly successful. We grew to the point where we're pretty much a post house, a boutique sort of level post house. Michael and I had been doing a lot of work for HBO at Plaster City. We knew everyone at HBO quite well. This show, Game of Thrones, came along that was going to shoot in Northern Ireland because the locations are absolutely amazing, but it was basically impossible to shoot film there. Budgetarily, logistically, it would just be impossible. HBO needed to figure out a way to maintain the visual language, the hallmark that is an HBO show, but transition that into the world of digital photography. They were looking for someone who knew a little bit about digital cameras, who knew a little bit about production, who knew a little bit about post, and the other guy wasn't available, so they called me. Yeah, no, I'm very lucky to work at HBO. Very lucky to be able to work on some of the most iconic television, like Game of Thrones, Westworld. I've worked on shows like The Newsroom, and I also currently work on Sesame Street, so I have a very diverse portfolio. I really think about the type of stuff that I'm making now. I think there's this inspiration that I derive from my little girl, from Cooper. Extremely excited to be working on Sesame Street, and I have a renewed interest in how do we make that show amazing? How do we make it consumable for a girl like Cooper who's 2? How do we engage with her with that content? And so it's interesting, in a time where I thought I knew what was really important in what I was making, it just sort of turns everything on its head, and you sort of start looking at things a little differently. Your priorities sort of change a little bit, and that informs your work as well. It's kind of amazing.